I guess when a lot of us first rode a Fat Boy, it was a case of putting some of its foibles down to character. My first ride was early last decade, and in the ensuing article, I used that character metaphor a lot. In hindsight, it stood for stuff other bikes did better. My, how the game has changed. I spent a bit over 2 weeks cruising around southeast Queensland on a brand new 2014 Fat Boy, and all I got from the machine was smooth, easy, relaxed, and quite charismatic. All those bugbears from the old models have been consigned to history. There is still plenty of character in this latest edition, but now it's not a metaphor. It's in the pull, the torque, and the smoothness of the 103 cube twin-cam counterbalanced soft-tail engine, in the stumble-free fuel injection and the two-finger ABS brakes, in the solid handling and compliant suspension that have all become just that little bit better with every successive model year. A quick glance at the spec sheet says that not a lot has changed since the introduction of the 103 cube power plant, only that the machine indeed has become more refined. The Fatty's wheelbase is still 1635mm, a Road King is 1625 and a Street Bob is 1630 for comparison. Coupled with its 31-degree rake, 147mm trail and tried and trusted soft-tail chassis, it makes for a solid feel on the road. Even more than previous models, this one won't change lines on uneven surfaces unless you tell it to. The 6-speed cruise drive transmission proved to be a complete turnaround from those early units too. It selected neutral without fail, even just pushing it around the shed with the engine off. There were no false neutrals or dodgy shifts either. The multi-plate clutch is now similarly efficient, very tidy. I've always found the Fatty to be comfortable. The wide saddle and low profile with internally wired handlebars are quite suitable for the larger gentleman, while the 690mm seat height will accommodate those built a bit lower to the ground too. Of course, there's also the low model for those that find the standard ergos a reach too far, but with feet perched on the wide footboards, I found I could ride it pretty much all day in good comfort and looked a bomb while I did it. And that's really where the Fat Boy sings to me, looking at it. There is something very right about its swooping lines, solid wheels, and softy rear end. Even with the assortment of colours that have passed my way, the 2014 orange, amber whiskey, is indeed a peach. As a starting point for a wild custom, or to keep it stock, the Fatty is a great platform with real heritage. I once asked Bill Davidson what his bikes were. I have several, but one is an original Fat Boy, because I think it's just such an iconic model, he answered enthusiastically. Often credited with turning the company's fortune around when it was first released, the Fat Boy has come a long way to the modern, effortless machine it is today. Well worth another look. It's quite charismatic, in fact.